and you're like, oh, there's got to be an easier way. There is no easier way. It's such an old term, and it's such an old way of doing things because it works. Welcome back to Iron Out Fat Guys. Got a really special video. Been wanting to put this video out for so long. So, sorry to disappoint. I know it's a lot of clickbait, but shocker, there's no fat loss formula. Sorry to disappoint, but like that is what it is. Like, I will tell you like the real nitty-gritty of what it is, what it takes to lose weight here. But come on guys, there's no special formula. There's no special pill. There is, I think, like one pill that does actually burn fat, but it can kill you. Like, legitimately can kill you. Gives you cataracts if you take too much of it. Sends you to the hospital, and if you go to the hospital because you've overdosed on this pill, you die. The doctors can't help you. They just do what they can to try and... It's not okay. You die. It's just stupid. What is it? Like, how do we burn fat? Burn more calories than you eat. Burn more calories than you put into your mouth. That's it. It's not really a formula. Like, I do have certain things, tools and formulas that I use to calculate like body fat percentage and my calorie, my TDEE and such. And I'll get to those at the end of the video. But for now, I want to hit some straight up serious points on this video. So, it doesn't matter how you go about it. It doesn't matter what you're doing to burn fat, to lose fat. You have to burn more calories than you eat in a day. So what does that mean? Your body burns a certain amount of calories. No matter, like, just you could be in a coma. Your body still burns calories. So they have to hook you up to like all this intravenous stuff to give you nutrients, or else you will die. So you can that's your, oh gosh, I should have written this down. I think that's your TDEE. Anyways, there's a couple different calories. There's the calories that you burn doing nothing. There's the calories that you burn in a typical day based on the kind of activity that you're doing. And then there's so then taking that knowledge, you need to put yourself in a calorie deficit. That is the only way you're going to lose fat. Now, branching off that point, these fad diets. And I was a culprit of this too. I did keto. I'm not saying it doesn't work, because I lost quite a bit of weight. The problem is you still need to track your calories. You still need to eat less calories than you burn in a day. So I think I lost like 60 some odd pounds on keto. But realistically, it's because I just stopped eating shit. That's all it was. I stopped drinking my calories, pop and milkshakes and all that kind of stuff. I stopped eating crappy food, like your candy, your chips, pizzas. All of those are so calorie dense. And once you those little changes, that could come down to actually the what do you call that? The common sense diet. People who are grossly overweight or obese or whatever you want to call it, when you're overweight, making small changes like taking out the sodas and the pizzas and the candy bars and all of your bags of chips, like, you take that away, that's a lot of calories you're putting in your body. People will lose weight just by taking those small steps, by not eating those really bad foods. Like, how many calories are in a can of pop? I don't know, like, it's been like 100, 150 or something like that. And you drink, some people drink like 2, 3, 4 a day. And I'm bad for drinking pop, but I try to keep it diet pop, and I do realize that I drink too much, and so I try to cut it out. I try not to drink so much, maybe one a day. Sometimes I'll skip a day and I'll try not to drink one, I'll drink water, whatever. So that being said, you still need to track your calories, you still need to eat less than you burn. You need to burn more calories than you intake. Whether that be doing cardio, and it is possible to do a ton of cardio, but it's so hard to, what I would consider is outworking a shitty diet. It's so hard. Why would you do that? Like you're talking about people who are overweight. I'm sure we're not like the best candidates to want to go to the gym twice a day and just kill it at the gym doing cardio just so we could eat that pizza or that, and half the time you're not even doing enough cardio to burn those calories off. Like the military, maybe, like when they're doing their basic training, that's when you're burning a ton of calories in a day. You can't eat enough because you are doing so much work, but that's all you're doing is running around and moving and exercising and just activities after activities, and you're barely getting any sleep. But anyways, I digress. That's the basics of it, guys. There's no secret formula. Burn more calories than you intake. So like this in itself isn't real. They're kind of formulas, but they're not fat loss formulas. They're just, so like there's formulas to help calculate your body fat percentage. And when you can kind of get a good idea of what your body fat percentage is, then you can kind of get a good idea of what your TDEE is, or what your calories are on a daily basis. So this all these formulas and mathematical equations are just giving you an idea of where you sit in your calorie range, so that you can make an informed decision on how many calories you should be eating in a day to burn fat. So you want to put yourself in a calorie deficit. And that's different for everybody. That's why people get they get coaches, because they get overwhelmed with all the formulas, and I got to measure myself to get all the measurements so that I can figure out what my body fat percentage is, so I can put it into a calculator that can determine what my macros are in a day. So then I can determine how much I need to eat in a day, or how many calories I need to intake in a day. And then I need to determine how much of that needs to be protein, how much of that needs to be fat, how much of that needs to be carbs, and so on and so forth. That's why people get personal trainers, because it's just hard to track. It's not particularly easy unless you know how to work the internet and get in there and dig into the information and do it all yourself. I like doing it myself. I did it myself. I'm at a calorie range that I think is working for now. Like if you've watched my previous video, check out my other videos. I don't know where they're going to be linked up, but check them out. So far I'm down to 305. That's a 65-pound weight loss from way back when I started this whole thing. And so far I think I'm eating enough in a day. I'm not starving. It's something you have to get used to. And then on top of that, you get into like foods that you want less calorie dense foods. You don't want foods that are high in calories. You want something that's going to fill you up. I'll make another video on that later. That's a whole other topic. The fad diets. Like I've touched on keto, but every fad diet that's why they're called fad diets. That's all they are. Because eventually you come to the realization that, like, yeah, you can lose weight fasting. Sure, you can lose weight fasting. Is it healthy? Not really. Are there some stats that show that fasting is something we used to do as Neanderthals? Sure. But do we need to? No, that's why we evolved as a society. We don't need to fast. Our body doesn't need to go through that. It's very hard on your body. In my opinion, it's not the smartest way to go about it. You don't need to fast. Some people are doing just like a water fast for like days on end. Your body needs nutrients. And then on that topic, you're like, I'm kind of concerned about muscle mass, but like I'm at a point now where I want to lose the fat. So like I'm lowering my protein intake in a day to a certain point. I still hit the gym. I still see some, my muscles aren't like completely depleted and I'm not losing tons of energy, but I still eat protein, because if you're fasting or if you're eating too little calories, not getting in the protein, your body is going to go, okay, well, we need to survive, so what should I do? What should I do? Okay, I'm going to burn some fat, but what else can I do to get that energy? I'm going to turn muscle into glycogen and burn it for fuel. So then you're not focusing, like, yes, you're losing weight, but our focus should be to lose fat, not muscle on top of that. Yes, dieting, it's something we can't get away from. You can't get away from burning off some muscle when you're dieting. That's the reality of that. You can't get away from it. But you can help not do that as much as possible by eating a healthy diet and keeping your protein levels relatively high compared to where your lean body mass is. So fasting, in my opinion, is another fad diet. Like, it works for some people, and if it works for you, great. Like, I'm not knocking the fad diets to say that they're useless, because if you lose fat and you keep it off, or if you're trying to get healthy and it's working for you, then by all means continue doing that. If it works for you, do it. I'm not saying don't do it, because like, we all need to get healthy, and I'm not knocking if it works for you, it works for you. That's pure and simple. If it works for you, good for you. My opinion on the fad diets are just kind of really dwindling in the past couple of years, because I've tried a lot of them and they just bring me right back to square one. And now I'm just focusing on calories. I know it sounds so old, like your parents said it or your grandparents said it. Just watch your calories, you know, like, and you're like, oh, there's got to be an easier way. There is no easier way. It's such an old term, and it's such an old way of doing things because it works. It works, like tracking calories in versus calories out. Calories in versus calories out. Eat less calories than you burn in a day. If you start doing that, you will lose weight. So if you're not losing weight, pull 100, 200, 300, whatever calories out of your diet until you start seeing the weight move down. When you start seeing the weight move down on the scale, and not like crazy, like, I mean like a pound, 2 or 3 pounds, maybe 5 pounds a week, then you're obviously eating less than you burn. That's simple. Unless you have, you know, unless you're doing things that are not recommended, like you know, always check with your doctor, you know what I mean? Like, don't be doing things that could really adversely affect your health. Don't do things unless you check with your doctor. Check with your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any kind of certificates or training or nothing. This is all from my experience in trying to lose my weight. That being said, I am probably going to have to weigh out or portion my food for the rest of my life. And it's because I have zero impulse control. Like, I put food on my plate and I just keep putting it there. But if I know that I shouldn't be eating more than this many grams of chicken, or more than this many grams of, like, let's say barbecue sauce on there, or whatever I'm putting on there, I can weigh it out and say, oh, that's too much. Okay, I'll stop there. If I don't have that scale or any kind of that portioning, if I don't have like something to tell me that's too much, I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep putting it on, because that's the way I am. I don't know, that's just who I am. So I'm probably going to say that unless I get really good at eyeballing things after a while, but even then I don't trust myself. I'll be like, oh well, I eyeballed it yesterday and you know, whatever, it should be good today, and I'm just going to, it'll be a slow slope until I crash back into my old habits of just eating whatever I want. So I'm pretty sure for the rest of my life I'm going to have to either track my calories or figure out how to portion them, because I just have zero control over it right now. Maybe if I get down to a really good body fat percentage and a healthy weight, maybe I won't have that much of a problem. But today I do. So I know this video is a little bit of clickbait, because you were looking for maybe the formula for fat loss. Like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to link up. I'm going to have some links. They might be here. They might be in the link down below. But I have some links that go to the macro calculator that I use, which also can calculate like your TDEE and where your calories should be sitting in a day. And with that, I always suggest to use the lean mass formula, which means you need to know your body fat percentage or an idea of your body fat percentage. It's not an exact science. Like, these are all rough estimates. Same with like your calorie counting. Like, your calorie counting is just an idea of where you're eating, and you just keep lowering it slowly until your weight starts moving down. When your weight starts moving down, then you know you've hit a number, whatever that number is. That number of how many calories you're eating a day is what is getting you to lose weight right now. So it's not about what the number is. It's that you figure out where it is and you stick to that number. It's not so much like, oh, here's the formula of exactly what you need to be eating. It's not going to be like that. You get an idea and you work with that. You eat a little bit more, a little bit less. If you start eating this and you're losing like 10 pounds a week, like you're way too low. Way too low. You're eating too little. You're gonna crash real hard real soon. Like, I know we all want to see results right away, me included. I want to see results right away, and I get really discouraged when I don't. But if you crash hard real quick and your fat loss stops, you're gonna get frustrated, and you're gonna rebound. You're gonna put all the weight back on, like I did. Go back in my channel. I did that. It's proven statistically that the slower you lose the weight, the longer you keep it off. That's just stats. That is 100% accurate stats. I've read that in many different places. So, calories in versus calories out, that's it. Like, I can't state that enough. So, that's the video, you know? Thanks for clicking on this video. Thanks for watching this video. I hope if you made it to the end, make sure you check out the links in the description that are to the some of the mathematical formulas. Like, they're links to websites that are free, because I don't pay for that. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you comment, and I will respond. I will reply if you have any questions. And share this with everybody you know. Everybody needs to know about this. It's calories in versus calories out. There's ways to figure it out. You can do it on your own. You don't necessarily need a coach. Until next time, guys.